crafty friends, it's Alyssa with Crafting to Cope, and I'm on today with a quick project share and a tutorial, a quick tutorial. It's really hot where I live, and so yesterday I just really did not want to go outside. It was so hot and so humid. So I remembered that I saw like a short on Instagram like a month ago of a woman who made like these beaded flowers, and she just kind of showed her flowers, and I could not find it again. So I just kind of took my own spin on it. And I made these cute little vases with beaded flowers in them, and they're just so adorable. And I went to town yesterday. I made so many, and I'll share some of them with you. But I did make these too. I thought they would be so cute to set on like my windowsill in my kitchen and have the light shine through them. And then I just kind of got all kinds of other ideas of things that I can do. So I'll probably do another video of some projects, but I just want to do a quick little tutorial about how I made these adorable little flowers. And so we are going to do that today. So a few things that you'll need is you will need some beading tools. And so I have this little case here with the different tools. And so you will need, see if I can get it out of here, a cutter, a wire cutter, and then you'll need the rounded pliers. And then I also use kind of these pliers as well, and I do not know names of anything. So the one that has the flat on the inside to kind of flatten some things, needle nose, or this rounded nose, because we are going to have to bend some wire, and then a wire cutter. So we're going to use those. And then you're also going to need some wire. And so I have this 24 gauge wire that I'm going to use. And this seems to be perfect for what I need it for. It's thin enough to double up if I need to, but thick enough where everything stands sturdy. And then you're going to need some beads. So I used just the smaller seed beads, and I actually used this package from Hobby Lobby. So I used the green mix 8-0. I need to get my eyes checked. Coated glass bead seed beads. So this is one of those ones that you can get for $3.99. I always buy them when they are on sale, so they go on half price. And so the other thing is I did buy this pack off of Amazon. So you could use these if you wanted more solid color stems. So if you look at my stems, I used kind of multicolor, so you could mix some of these together and make your own mix. Or if you would rather have a solid color, you could just choose one of these colors. So I did get this mix of all green ones from Amazon. And then you're going to need a bead spinner. So I did find a bead spinner in the past. I've used kind of this manual bead spinner, but I found this bead spinner on Amazon, and it is a life changer. So it is actually electric. So it has, it can go 2 different ways, and then it has multiple speeds on it. So this is a total game changer for me. So I will link the seed beads and then this and some of the materials that I used down below in the description. The other thing is, if you wanted thicker stems, you could get the bigger kind of like, I think they're called like E-beads. So they do have the smaller size seed beads and then the bigger E-beads both at Hobby Lobby. So you could do the bigger beads if you wanted to. I did this stem in the bigger beads, and then just kind of in comparison, let's see, I think I have another stem in the smaller beads. So you can see the 2 differences. So you can do thinner or thicker, and I've kind of done some with both, but all of the ones that I showed at the beginning were all with the thin, like the smaller seed beads. The other thing you're going to need is some little crimp tubes. So I also got some of these at Hobby Lobby. And then some flowers. So I have these flowers that I ordered off of Amazon, and that's what I used in these. And I just love them. They're so pretty. So they come in multiple colors. I did get the pinks, the purples, and then the multicolor. There are some blues and some other colors too, but those were the ones that I got. So those are the things you're going to need. And then This is the electric bead spinner that I did get off of Amazon. Okay, so you're gonna need all of those things. And then what you're gonna wanna do is just, oh, you also need, I use clear beads. So in this little dish, I have some clear beads and then a flower that I'm gonna use to show you kind of how I did it. So what you're gonna wanna do is just cut a piece of the wire. And so I'm probably cutting it too long, but I feel like it might be easier to kind of see what I'm doing with a little bit longer of a piece. So depending on what kind of container you want to put your flowers in, you're going to want to kind of pay attention to the size of the wire and how tall you want your flower. So what I did is I just cut that. Let me get one of these crimpers out. So you're going to want to pick a bead that you can put in the top of the flower. So when you look at the flower, it has a little hole in it. And I'm just, for this purpose, going to use a clear bead. A pearl would also be really cute in here, but right now for this, I'm going to use a clear bead because that's what I have out. So what you're going to want to do is just take the clear bead and put it on the end of the wire. And of course, I picked a bead that you can't push through. So once you get the clear bead on there, then you're just going to want to bend the wire and kind of double it up a little bit. And again, I'm doing a lot of wire. Once you kind of get the hang of it, you'll see that you don't have to use so much wire. So you do have the little e-bead right here, and it is the size of these larger ones. Then you're going to just take your flower and put it through the end. So you just put it through the end and then make sure it goes through both of the wires. It's hard to see what I'm doing. I think I need glasses at my older age. So you're going to want to make sure it goes through both of them. And then once you do that, you can see that there's some extra wire here. What I do then is I just take this tool, I push the bead up where I want it so it's tight, and then I'm going to pull this wire really tight. Okay, and so now you'll see that it's a little tighter in there. So then you get the flower so it looks good and it doesn't kind of flop around. Then you're going to take this little tiny crimp, which is really hard to see because it's tiny. So you're going to take that and you're going to feed it through the end. And what we're going to do is we're going to get it so it goes all the way up to the flower on both pieces of the wire. And this is going to just keep your bead in place. And so this gets a little tricky. So you see that I put it through both of the pieces of the wire. Then I'm going to push it all the way down, make sure it's tight, because I don't want my flowers to flop around. I want them in here tight. Then I'm going to take the pliers that has the flat piece right here, and we're just going to crimp this tube as close to the flower as we can, really, really tight. And then you'll see it's going to hold it in place so it sits in there. So you're going to crimp it really tight. Now you could probably do other things. You could probably use another bead. You could probably put a little glue on there if you wanted. This just seems to work for me. Then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut off this extra piece right here because I don't want to have to put the seed beads through two pieces because I don't think they'll fit. Now, if you use the e-beads, like the bigger beads, you can just put them over both of them because the hole's bigger. But if you're using the smaller beads, it's hard to get it through two pieces of wire. So I'm going to just go down as close to the bottom here as I can, try not to cut the other one, and I'm going to cut that extra piece off. And then if you have like a little piece sticking out like this, I just kind of push it in so it doesn't hurt anybody. So then you have that. So you could use a beading needle with this. What I do is just kind of bend this a little bit. It's going to be tricky to do it on camera, but I just bend it a little bit, and then I turn on my bead spinner and make sure that it's going the right direction and it's a good speed. And then I just feed this in here and get a couple beads at a time. And it's just so much easier for me than trying to see the holes in these tiny little beads. And so this bead spinner is definitely a game changer because in the past, I had this one. and I'd have to sit and spin it, stop and spin it. And so I just love this one. It's just a total game changer. And I love so many different crafts, but I've loved beads since I was just a kid. Like my girlfriend and I would always make our own jewelry and, you know, exchange bracelets and those types of things. And so this is just so much fun to me. I like to take a break from my paper crafts once in a while and just create something with beads. And I do make a lot of bracelets and those types of things. So I'll definitely get a workout from, or this bead spinner will definitely get a workout. So, you know, you can sit and kind of compare it to the jar that you're going to put it in and just see how long you want it. Now at the end of, like when you get all the beads on there at the end, you could do a lot of things. You could wire wrap the end like you do if you make like a bead dangle. You could put some glue at the end. You could put another crimping thing at the end. I just kind of, I'll show you in a second. I think we're just about, yeah, so this is probably good. So again, you see how much quicker it is with that bead spinner. So what I do is I have a lot of extra wire here. And again, after you make a few of these, you'll see you can kind of measure out your pieces once you realize what you need. But I'm just going to cut this little bit of extra off, and I'm going to leave just a little bit here. And what I do is I take the round nose pliers and I just go as close to the end as I can, and I turn. And then I take out my pliers, my rounded pliers, put it back in the hole and turn. And I just keep doing that until it's really tight. And again, it doesn't need to be pretty at the bottom because I'm putting mine in vases. Now, if I wasn't and I was going to do something else with them, I might do a prettier bottom. So you see, I just wrapped it. It's just a coil. And then I'm going to push it together. And then those beads are secure. The flower is nice and tight at the top. And I can just add it right to my little jar here, and now I have another cute little flower in my jar. So it's just so much fun. And so I made these two. Then I did kind of look around for some other ideas, and I'll probably do another video to show some other ideas. But there's just like Hobby Lobby has some really cute little jars, so I did pick up a couple of different jars to try things. So you can use pretty much anything. You can also use a little votive candle holder and make a cute little arrangement. I also found these tiny little pots at Walmart, and I just thought they were so adorable. So what I did for those is I actually put this arrangement in a tiny little pot and used some little black rocks. So it just looks like a little potted plant. So I've been making all kinds of these. So I've made these with the flowers from Hobby Lobby. I got these flowers off of Amazon. And then I got these roses from Hobby Lobby. And I have so many more. So I'm going to make a bunch more flowers and kind of come back probably and show you more ideas of what I will do with some of these flowers. I just thought it was so much fun. So again, that's my quick little tutorial, and I will put some links below to the items I used today, just so you can kind of get a look at them and give it a try. But I definitely think the bead spinner makes this so much easier. But that's my quick little tutorial. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Bye.